Hi again, Doug here from x-framesfpv, and today we've got a mini follow-up video for you. This is on the BrainFPV MPb and their RE1, which is their PDB and flight controller. And this is not going to be any real in-depth video. This is really just how the build went and my overall opinion on the components. Now, really quickly, we'll hit on DRonin, which is the GUI software that you use to configure this. And I will say that I'm really impressed with that software. Now, I'm going to do an in-depth video later on down the road. I don't know when it will be, but that will kind of go more in depth with DRonin. But right now, we're just going to kind of talk about it really quickly. And I like how easy everything is to set up. Now, it has some setup wizards that literally take you step by step. And when you're done, you've got the board configured. You've got your radio configured, switches set up where you want them, and so that is really a good feature for, especially for people who are new to drones or even intermediate builders. Another advantage that they have is that it takes it even another step, which is going into the auto tune feature. Now that is, you set a switch to auto tune on your radio, and it kind of steps through some maneuvers with the quadcopter, and when you're done, you've got a really good baseline tune. And I've talked to people and read some reviews of people that are even more advanced flyers that say that the tune it's actually really locked in when it's done. So I want to spend some time to do that later on. I just don't have time now because I test fly out in front of my house, and there's some trees and out in front here, and I don't have enough space to really do the tune, because you do need some space. So we'll do that down the road. But I do like the user friendliness of DRonin. So let's go on to the components. And first, let's talk about the PDB. Now, I will say I did have some issues with the first one. Both regulators were bad, or were dead. And I'll give you a tip. One thing when you are building these, before you install your PDB, is check the regulators. If you've got a voltage meter, and check 5 volts and 12 volts, hook your XT60 up to it. And that way you're not spending all the time and getting everything wired and moving forward. But I contacted BrainFPV, told them what was going on, told them, I wasn't the original purchaser. It was my customer out in South Carolina. And so literally 2 days later, I had a brand new PDB sitting on my doorstep. And I will tell you, that is what makes a great company. It doesn't matter how good a company you are, how good your quality control is, you are going to have issues at some point. There's going to be components that are going to be bad. And the difference between a good company and a great company like BrainFPV is in how they take care of their customer. And these guys are just absolutely phenomenal. All the contact I've had with them has been great. So I appreciate them a lot. So I got a new new PDB, installed it, and everything was working great. I really like the OSD. I like that it is configurable, and I like that the flight controller on this does have the IR leads, the LEDs for your lap timers or your lap counting, and it just shows that they're kind of tuned towards the racer. And but then the auto tune and how easy their DRonin is to use shows that they're also for the beginners and intermediates. So these guys have really kind of thought through, okay, how can I make the best components? And I will say the quality of the components that go into these, down to the pins where you solder to, and all the connections, the quality is really good, and especially for an intermediate builder or a beginner builder, if you're a beginner builder out there, getting on and off those soldering, if you're soldering up if you're direct soldering your ESCs, that can be tricky. And so if you have a good quality pad there to solder to, it just makes a difference. So I appreciate that. But overall, I am excited to spend a little more time using DRonin, because I think that is part of the magic of this flight controller, that and how configurable the OSD is. And really pleased with it, and I look forward to spending a little more time with it. So, and getting some time on showing you guys how DRonin works, the auto tune, how good that tune is. That's something I'm really curious about, because I spend, I've been doing this for a while, and I'm constantly learning about PIDs and rates and the best way to tune, and you learn just from doing. And it would be great though if people that are beginners could get a baseline tune, and so I look forward to spending some more time with it. So I hope you guys are getting something out of these videos. If I missed something, please let me know. And I have a website if you'd like to go check that out. That's x-framesfpv.com. That's x-framesfpv.com, and you can see some of my builds and my pricing and that kind of thing. But please, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section, and like and subscribe. And I hope you guys have some time today to fly.